وين من إلهنا علينا ما أسنتنا علينا وما سيدنا كنناه. We gather today in order to commemorate the anniversary of Morin Rabbeinu Yosef Chaim, the Ben Ish Chai. So we'll share a few words on the whole subject. Ben Ish Chai was born 110 years ago, 1909. His mother could not get any children. He went over, who was father, Rabbi Eliyahu Chaim, he went over with his wife to Rabbi Yaakov Bahatzera. And over there, he got a fantastic bracha. Rabbi Yaakov, big Kubal, big tzaddik, the grandfather of Baba Sali, said that within a year, his wife would give birth to a child, would light the whole world in his Torah. She was happy. Baruch Hashem, they went back and the bracha of Yaakov was fulfilled. True enough, Yosef Chaim was born. He was the oldest of four brothers. He had another four brothers. He was the oldest. We find the age of 4, when he was 4 years old, his father was learning Torah with him and asked him, tell me, is when HaKadosh Baruch Hu, when God spoke to Adam Arishon, Adam, and asked him, Ayeka, where are you? What is he talking? He doesn't know. So what does Ayeka stand for? So the little boy, Yosef, he says, Aleph, Yud, Kaf, He, Ani Yodea, Kol Nistarot. From that age, he was able to give an answer. Goes further, at the age of 7, he was slipped once and fell into a deep well. And over there, he was almost dying. And people had great difficulty. They worried that something would happen to him. They prayed and they prayed, and eventually they were able to lift him up and take him out. The moment they took him out, Yosef Chaim, the 7-year-old boy, he says, Baruch Hashem, Rabbono Shel Olam, Master of the Universe, you took me out from Mavet Lahayim. As a result of that, I'm going to dedicate all my life to your Torah study. We find further at the age of 7, also not long after that, it was on Motzei Shabbat. They took his father, Rabbi Eliyahu, told the son, Rabbi Yosef, I want to bring you to bring for me the wine and the candles and the psamim for Motzei Shabbat. So he ran. His sister quickly after him also ran. So mind you, he's older, that he picked up the thing and he brought them all the pieces to him. So he saw that his sister was not happy. So Rabbi Eliyahu said, you want to give it? He says, look, I came to fulfill the mitzvot kibud avayim. That's all reason. So at that age already he was quite aware of what's going on. At the age of 15 already, he was delving into the books of his father and his grandfather. He then comes along and he sees amongst them a question which had been asked by the Chachamim of Yerushalayim. A very difficult question. to Rabbi Eliyahu, his father. So what does the son do? Rabbi Yosef, he takes the question and he analyzes it, and after gives a deep, profound, clear answer to this question. He then posts it himself to Yerushalayim. He says over there, not only this, he says, I'm sorry, he says, I am just a young boy and have, maybe my opinion is not important, but this I give it to you. The Chachamim, Yerushalayim saw this, they were astounded. They found that a person who was at the age of 15 was a baki and it's so much. A few weeks later, Rabbi Eliyahu, without the knowledge of his son, wrote also the answer and also sent the letter. So by the time the letter came to Yerushalayim, the Chachamim Yerushalayim wrote back to Rabbi Eliyahu and said, I'm sorry, your son has answered you in exactly the same manner as you asked, as you've written. Be'ezat Hashem, you should see a lot of nachat ruach from him. The age of 18, he got married. Further, at the age of 26, his father, Rabbi Eliyahu, passed away. And the mantleman, who Rabbi Eliyahu was the rabbi of Iraq at the time, so he had to take on the responsibility of his father without saying anything. Rabbi Ephraim Kohen, one of the top giants of Eretz Israel at the time, happened to be also in Baghdad. And he asked him, the Ben Ish Chai asked him, would you like to give a drasha? So he says, okay, you choose a pasuk. So Rabbi Ephraim Kohen says, yes, potechat elecha. Immediately, the Ben Ish Chai gives a drasha of 4 hours, only on that pasuk. Fantastic. It's mamash. His knowledge was phenomenal. And he gave it in 120 years. 120 ways of explaining this. In the year of 1869, the Ben Ish Chai wanted to go to Eretz Israel, and he did. He took a group of people, they went to the Shayara, the caravan. They went. Mind you, it's long, it takes long. They came towards Shabbat, they were already in the desert. So the head of the Shayara said, look, we get to move. You can't stay here, it's bandits country. It's full of thieves, dangerous. So the Ben Ish Chai says, no, I'm not moving from here. I'm spending Shabbat over here. His brother was also with him. So the two of them, they came along and sat down. The Rosh Hashayara also sat because they had no option, because they were asked to, they were hired by him. True enough, comes along one of the bandits, a whole group of bandits comes. And they come, they want to seize the people. Where's the Rabbi Yosef? He's sitting down learning. He's learning Zohar. The guy had one look at him. The bandit had one look at him. He screamed and took his legs and ran for his life. The other bandits also saw that. They didn't know what was happening. They followed him. From then, the head of the Shayara, the leader of the Shayara, of the caravan, had great respect for him. They came to Eretz Israel. Comes to Yerushalayim. Yerushalayim is the Hachamim Yerushalayim accepted it in open arms. He went to see, to visit the graves of the great Hachamim, the Tanaim. He went over to Tzfat and went over to the mausoleum of of Benayahu ben Yehoiada. It's a known fact that Benayahu ben Yehoiada was actually he was the Rosh Sanhedrin at the time of Shlomo Melech. It's very great. And there is a tradition that anybody who goes there and is able to is strong on concentrations, that he serves God with concentrations. You have Giluim, and true enough, the Ben Ish Chai had tremendous amount of Giluim, revelations, from that incident. So much so that all his books have been written after the name of the Benayahu ben Yehoiada. Ben Ish Chai, Kapziel, Rav Pe'alim, all of them are exactly the same. The Ben Ish Chai wrote over 80 books. It's unbelievable. He comes over now with one of the things that we have. One of the Pirushim that he has, from my humble opinion, is very, very great. He says, Pasuk tells us in the Parashat Bo, like this. ויאמר השם אל משה, בוא אל פרעה, כי אני הכפלתי את ליבו, ואת לב עבדיו, למען שיתי אותותיי אלה בקרבו. Which means, and Hashem tells Moshe, come to Paro, right? Why? Because I have hardened, I've made heavy his heart, and the heart of his servants, in order that I can inject into him my signs. Now, exactly what's he talking about? So the Ben Ish Chai asks, he says basically, why did Hashem bring 10 plagues to Egypt? Could have been one plague, just get rid of Paro and finished. Makot Bechorot and finished. Like he said. He said it first, he said, kill your firstborn. He didn't. What did he go? A plague, and afterwards the plague stopped. He did another plague, and after the plague stopped. Keep on every time. This is exactly what happened. So the question arises. The question arises now. If that is the case, what exactly was it necessary to bring 10 plagues? The answer is that this incident is not only for them, but whatever happened then was as a sign to what's going to happen now, in our time. But wait, it's not so simple. He says that Hashem brought the plagues on who? On Paro. But now you don't have no Paro. Paro is dead and gone. Then who comes instead? Esau. Esau, Christianity. Now what happens? How would you know? He says, let me explain. He says, take the inside of Paro. What does it mean by inside of Paro? What does it mean? That take the inside of Paro. How do you spell it? Pe, which is 5. The letter 5, the he is 5. Remember that. Resh is Yud Resh Yud Shin is 310. Yud and Shin 10 and 5, 300, 310. 310 and 5, 315. Right? Ayin is Yud Nun, which is Yud Nun is 10 and 50 is 60. 60 and 315 is 375. The last He is He Aleph. It's 1. The Aleph is 1, which is all 376. So it so happens that Esav, if you take Esav, which becomes the brother of Yaakov Avinu, is Esav. Ayin is 70, Sin or Shin is 300, 370, and Vav is 6, 376. So you find that, broadly speaking, the Ben Ish Chai is saying that HaKadosh Baruch Hu not only did what he did then at the time of Egypt, he's also going to do in the future. Be'ezrat Hashem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the schut of the Ben Ish Chai should be for all of us, Be'ezrat Hashem, that we bring Mashiach Tzidkenu Berachamim, Chen Yiratzon, V'nomar.